Hey there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and a new card making video. Today I am going to be playing with some shaker pouches from Trinity Stamps and this flight deck die set. This works perfectly for an A2 size card. This largest die is going to fill up that A2 size panel, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And so I'm going to create this flight deck. It's like you're looking out from the control panels of an airplane, a spaceship, whatever you really want it to be. And so that's what I'm going to do today. And I'm going to have it be a shaker because Trinity Stamps also has these A2 shaker pouches. So the flight deck piece is going to fit perfectly onto this panel. And I thought that was so exciting. So we're going to have it like we're looking out the windows into outer space. Now, if you had other dies that created windows that were full panel size, you could totally do this, like a window looking out into a snowy scene and have a shaker with snowflakes in it. That would be really fun too. Okay, so in this flight deck set, there are some planets. So I brought out some papers from my stash, some backgrounds that I had made with shaving cream. I am getting the most out of these shaving cream backgrounds. Some I have recently made, and I do have a video showing you how I made them, and some were from my stash. So this is going to give these planets a lot of interest because the background is has a variety of shades and tones in it. So I am excited about how these turn out. I think it's a really clever way to use up scraps or backgrounds, and it just it already brings them to life, especially when these dies have that embossing in it where it turns them into a planet instead of just a circle. And now they've got a lot of interest in them. So I am going to add a little bit more to these die cuts with some shading of ink. So this is cracked pistachio, I believe, and I'm adding that just to one side to kind of darken it up there. And then also remember the die pressed details into the cardstock for us. So that's another opportunity to add some detail with maybe like an alcohol marker and to darken up those kind of craters or the parts that they have like lines or yeah, whatever across the planet. So that's what I'm going to do to all of these, is just give them a little bit of love and really give them some interest and have them be more exciting than just a circle. So here I am doing that with a darker kind of corally red color on top of this pink, and I think that helps make it a little bit more realistic than just a pink planet, you know? Yeah, I like how that turned out. I will do a little rouge ink from Altenew around the edge on this one. Again, just kind of on one side to darken it up. Or no, I went all the way around. Yeah, okay, this one, it could be the moon if you wanted it to be, or it could be like a crater or something. So I am using some tonal gray. This is T4 to darken up those craters and bring it to life. So these are coming along so good. I am loving how these are turning out. But let me know what you think about using these kind of shaving cream or ink smushed, or what else could you use? Like a gel press background for planets. I think it's pretty fun. So I even did the ring there from one of those backgrounds and then added just a little bit of yellow Copic marker on the edges to give it a shadow there. Okay, back to our background. It's a galaxy, so I'm not going to go crazy with my galaxy background like I really love to do. I don't know if you've already seen my galaxy background video where I show you how to turn some shaving cream backgrounds into galaxies and how they are marvelous. I will link that for you at the end of this video and in the description box below, where I just really went to town with my backgrounds. But this one, I just started with a piece of black cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 5.5. I splattered it with some bleed proof white by Dr. P.H. Martin and some pixie dust spray, or it's just shimmer, and that gave it that overall shiny, like in the background look. I'm also going to die cut these bitty little stars, which I am cutting from some holographic paper, but I backed it with rip and stick sheets. So I can turn those into stickers and stick them on my background. So I will have some stars in this shaker that are affixed and don't move around. So what I've done here is just laid my flight deck on top of that black cardstock so I could decide kind of where I wanted the things to go in my window and how I wanted them to be placed. And then I can more easily glue the things down because I've got a frame of reference there. So here I'm taking those little stars and sticking them down where I want them. And the rip and stick sheet on there is so nice. It just turns it like into a sticker, and I don't have to worry about glue seeping out, especially when I'm making a shaker. So that is really clever. So I did, I think 6 stars there. All right, so now that I have my stars in place, I know where I want everything to go. I can start to pick up those pieces and glue them down where I want them. Sometimes I change them a little bit after I've put the put them down where I want. Sometimes I move them around a little bit, but it just gives me an idea where I want things to go, so I know it's not going to be covered up by anything. Okay, this flight deck die set has so many things in it to create that control panel inside your ship. So I'm going to die cut all of those and put them all together on here. Now, if you look at your packaging, it gives you a visual of where these things are supposed to be placed, but you can really play with it and you can make it your own, and you can move things around and add things, take them away, do them in different colors, repeat elements. Like, really, it's totally up to you how you want it to go. So I will show you. I tried to follow the packaging pretty closely so you could see how that works and how you stick everything together. You definitely want some like fine tip glue or rip and stick sheets you can put on the back of your die cuts, which is what I prefer, and that's what I've done here. This little thing I'm working on right now is kind of like a radar. I really love that. I think that's fun. And then we've got some little like buttons, and these can be really tiny, so having good tools like the pickup stick, like tweezers, are really helpful for this. I find it invaluable. Like, if you just had to do this with your fingers, especially my fingers, it's really hard. So take advantage of those tools when you put these kinds of things together. And I don't know, this was like bringing out my desire to watch Star Trek. Yeah, I don't mind Star Trek. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite show, but I really like it. I like the new ones that has Chris Pine in it, and the new Spock I think is fabulous. I think they did a really good job with that. So yeah, this is reminding me of that for sure. Or even like the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars. It's just a really fun set. Now, I did not end up adding a sentiment to my card because I really wanted to customize it once I knew who I was going to give it to, but we have a ton of space related things from the latest release at Trinity Stamps, and so I'm definitely going to pull from that. Happy Birthday Earthling would be one I would choose. I think that I probably am going to give this card to my husband for his birthday in September, so I'm excited about that. So I added some little teeny tiny dots there to the radar. They didn't like really show up because they're like from the same color, so I'm going to end up going back and coloring those. But here are some extra little buttons you can put across the bottom, and the paper I used for that is the black glossy paper from Trinity Stamps. I liked that. Just kind of reminds you of what would actually be there, you know, gives it that plastic kind of look. So loving that. There's a bunch of little circles and rings, like open circles, that you can add in here as well. And I love the steering wheel. It's just so much fun, all the little pieces that bring this to life. So really all that's left to do is glue these things down in place. Now you could also pop these up. I think that would look really cute, but since my card is already going to be a shaker, I didn't want to pop it up. Now I know this is a flat shaker because we're using those shaker pouches, but even shaker pouches tend to puff up, and that's because there's a little gap where air can get in at the corner, so it's going to definitely puff up like that. So I decided to just glue everything flat for the cover of this one. So there's those little steering wheels. I think they're really cool. You could also add the circles there to the center or like the point, and that's going to really add to it too. So yeah, however you want to put this together, it's going to really be lots of fun. You could throw in some color on this too. Some red I think would look really good on this one, but I went traditional. I wanted the like what you're seeing out the window in the scene to really be the star of this. So it's all going to come together beautifully. By the way, I wanted to point out that kind of teal metallic cardstock that I'm using for the flight deck itself is actually paper I got from the Dollar Tree. They had a little pack of metallic cardstocks and I loved the teal in it, so I had to point that out. Sometimes you can find some cool crafty things at the Dollar Tree. If you have found cool paper crafting things at the Dollar Tree, please let us know in the comments below so we can look out for them too. So there was the flight deck. I think it came together so good. And here's where I'm taking a red Copic marker and just adding some color to those little dots on that kind of radar screen. And I think it really helped. All right, so next we need a little bit of help on those dials right above like the steering wheel. So I took my black glaze pen and just colored them, and that helped them to be nice and shiny and kind of stand out from the white that I put them on. So yeah, just those little details that make a huge difference. Yep, perfect. Okay, so here's the shaker pouch from Trinity Stamps, the A2 size. There's also an A2 layering size, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So you can have a little bit of a border when you stick it down on your card. But mine's full panel. Remember, it fits this flight deck perfectly. So I'm adding some rip and stick tape in 1/4 of an inch size to the back of my kind of galaxy background there. And that's what's going to hold my pouch to the paper. I'll peel the backing off on only 3 sides. Remember, we have to leave one open so we can throw those shaker bits on the inside. Then I'm going to fold over the flaps, which I kind of already pre-folded, so it would make it easier for me to do this right here. And then I like to use the Trinity Stamps crease tool to really push those down onto that adhesive so they stay, you know, really stuck down. Okay, so next for the shaker bits, I'm using these holographic stars from the Trinity Stamps shop. Now, if you're not familiar with the Trinity Stamps embellishments, I know I talk about them all the time on my channel, but they have so many things. Like there's gold stars, there are kind of clear iridescent stars, but Trinity Stamps has over 600 embellishments in the shop to shop from. So if there's something you like and you want it in a different color, you can get it in a different color. There's just clay bits and pearls and rhinestones and confetti and sparkle spots, clay things, I mean, the possibilities are endless in the Trinity Stamps embellishment shop. So be sure to check that out. I'll have my links in the description box below if you would like to go shop there. Okay, so now I'm adding on some rip and stick tape in 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch size to this. And I then did put a little bit of liquid glue so I could move this around if I needed to, but I know it's going to stick down really well to that window sheet. And now you can really see how this scene is coming together and how it looks like you're on the inside of a ship looking out into outer space and seeing all of those planets. Isn't that amazing? So good. Okay, we're going to stick this whole panel down to a card. I'm going to have the card be black also, so it really matches the background of my card. I am using that 1/4 of an inch size rip and stick tape again to stick this down to the card, and that also helps sandwich those little flaps down, and I think it works out great. I added a little bit of liquid glue, and then it's down onto my A2 size card. Now, here's where you could put a sentiment right across the front of this card. You could put the sentiment on the inside. I'm going to figure out which one is going to be best for my hubby's birthday when the time comes in September. But I've got this ready to go. I just had to play with this new set. Now, remember, Trinity Stamps has a ton of space, outer space related things. I've shared a lot of them on my channel recently, but Trinity Stamps is going to have a brand new release in just a few days. So be watching my channel for that. I will see you all again very soon with a new paper crafting video. Until then, happy stamping. Bye.